The 28th of December 2013. At New Delhi station, I was stopped by some locals. When I went through a gate, they said the train to Agra was cancelled, so I had to change my ticket at a travel agency. However, I doubted them and I passed through their blockage rather decisively. Just great. After arriving in Agra, many rickshaw drivers offered me a guide, but I travelled alone. BTW, Timidardorla was the place I wanted to visit the most. It was meticulously authentic and beautiful. The 29th of December 2013. I returned to Delhi late at night. After breakfast, I strolled around Old Delhi. The characteristic noises of crowded cities made me excited. Also, Indian food was very tasty. However, it was disappointing that most locals weren't kind to dogs. I witnessed some car run dog's leg over, but the driver didn't care and he ran away. Besides, most of the time, people who spoke to me were up to something. BTW, I headed to Gorak by night train. The 30th of December 2013. A night train has 3 classes of sleeping car and non-bed car. As I slept in second class, all of the passengers except me were locals and everyone was calm, so I felt a different atmosphere than in Old Delhi. After sunrise, I got off in Gorakhpur and I went to Sunauri by old bus. My bum hurt from sitting on the hard seat and from rocking on the rough road. BTW, I finally could pass through the border between India and Nepal on foot like in Midnight Express. The 31st of December 2013. Hawa was just like a border town. The best part of traveling was passing the border. I again realized I was a traveler. I could use both Indian and Nepalese rupee there. Besides, I felt I had entered Nepal when I had local dishes like a mog. Anyway, I stormed down to Pokhara. It took 8 hours by bus, though. There were full of tourists in Pokhara and we enjoyed the fireworks festival on New Year Eve. BTW, I was happy Nepalese were kind to dogs. The 1st of January 2014. Fortunately, I could see sunrise during New Year's Day from a roof terrace. Himalayas mountains dyed rose. It was so beautiful. Anyway, Pokhara is famous as a gateway of Himalayas. So I climbed a small mountain to admire the good scenery beyond the Fewa Lake. At the lake, I could go across to the other side by a paid rowboat. BTW, although a woman rower rowed my boat, she asked me should the 2nd of January 2014. It took some 8 hours again to go to Kathmandu by bus. The The bus went up on a winding road at the last part of the route, so I saw Kathmandu sits at 1,400 meters above sea level. Lower altitude area was, interestingly enough, covered by forest, and on the other hand, Kathmandu was a crowded city and was filled with vehicle emissions. BTW, the city was busier than I thought. Happily, no stray dogs were there. Dog and human got along well. The 3rd of January 2014. As I didn't know if my trip would be right on schedule, I planned a spare day. In the end, the trip went as planned, so I spent a relaxing day. Then I went to Pashupatinath. Locals usually hold a funeral ceremony there. Actually, I was watching the curl of smoke the whole time. BTW, when I was getting used to everything in Nepal, on the other hand, I had started missing noisy India. I truly realized crossing the border was wonderful.
Thank you for your viewing. Could you read my travel blog?